we, DIMCAS is a 501c4 nonprofit organization devoted to helping to lift the voices of grassroots activists across the country and, help push important strategic messaging and get wins for our side using people-powered social media organic content distribution. And so we've got a lot of people. There's 45 people on this call. We'll be sharing this video at the moment. I think we have a lot more RSVPs. We'll be sharing the video of this call out with everybody else who signed up. We have thousands who've signed up to be on this team and who are excited to sing with one voice. Try and do what our side has a hard time doing, and sharing talking points, being strategic about how we talk about things in the public space, because it does matter. So we're excited that you've all signed up. Lori, did you get David? So that he can talk about Edge. All right, David Yankovic.
I don't think he's joined us just yet.
Oh, okay, got it. And I didn't even really introduce myself. I'm Nick Knudsen. I'm the executive director of DIMCAS USA. I'll fix my name here. And David says he's here. He's on.
Okay.
Maybe on the phone as opposed to on video.
I'm looking.
Okay. So I'll just give you the sort of bare bones of what we're going to go through today. We are going to have these calls daily at 5 throughout the trial. We want it to be a quick meeting. We want to update you with the sort of strategic messaging that's arisen as a result of the case that's being made by the House impeachment managers, and do sort of rapid response to the bullshit that the GOP side is going to be, the Trump team is going to be running out there. Saw the question in chat. Sorry, I'm a Pacific Coast guy, so 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern is going to be when we're doing these. So I think we got David now. So David, you want to introduce yourself and Edge and sort of dive in a little bit about what the strategy is here?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody out there, David Yankovic here. If you don't know me, I'll just give you guys a quick background. I jumped in against Paul Ryan a couple years ago. Me and Randy Bryce were in the race. Him and I are buddies. I endorsed him. I ended up going and helping Doug Jones in Alabama build out a social media brand and infrastructure. We got lucky in that one. We ended up coming out and winning, 40-point underdogs. Helped Gretchen Whitmer and Debbie Stabenow and Jocelyn Benson in the state of Michigan in 2018 do the digital rebuild. Worked with Carol Maloney before and during and after she was on oversight, and have been spending the last several years here really just building out a good grassroots organization with Nick and Lori, and really bringing a lot of the donors of the party into this world that we're doing, which I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's been really helpful. The biggest thing for me is being able to organize on social media in a way that's the future, and winning campaigns like the Republicans do on their side of it. They have a social media and media organization from the top down, bottom up. So after all these years of working on campaigns and kind of trying to convince everybody to get into social media and do that stuff, I started my own firm this year, and I started with Alicia Resnikoff, who's a former U.S. attorney. She went to Harvard, and then Rachel Brody, who I've been working with for a long time. She's a social media strategist and an expert really at helping build communities. If you guys have seen anything about Malliotakis, it's been her. Over the last couple of weeks, she's doing a Resign Malliotakis campaign and kind of hitting this. And so on our side of it, what we're trying to do really is bring the party to the grassroots. And that's singularly almost our structure. And mission for what we're trying to accomplish as a company, is, talking to, the leaders of the party, being able to get them to come into, areas that they haven't been comfortable going into, being a part of social media in a conventional way for us, but in a very unconventional way for them, joining DM rooms, Zoom calls, and putting themselves in those kinds of places. And we've been, pretty successful at it. We partnered with Demcast, of course, and, they're amazing. We've been working together, since 2017, I think, anyway. And so that's kind of the little background there. And if anybody else has any questions, I'm happy to, answer them off the call. Just know that I am full on resistance. So I'm one of the OGs there. But so I've been talking with some of the impeachment managers and members at the national level there about what is that we're seeing, and getting good messaging out, because they kind of have a different relationship to be able to get some of this information for us. And so one thing that they told, well, there's been a lot, but, there was 10,000 protesters who came to DC versus 700 cops, 700. Like, this is the messaging that they want out there. It's like completely on Trump, focus on Trump, not Ted Cruz, not Hawley, all the other distractions that they're trying to throw out there, like solely 100%, we have to focus on him. It was a crime, and talking about the Constitution, what Trump did was a crime, and he's a clear and present danger to the Constitution. Try not to use the language like temples of democracy or even insurrection or sedition or anything else that's, lofty or political sounding. I know it sounds counterintuitive as well. That's what they're asking though. The second that we do that, the polling shows us that a majority of America stops listening. It was a crime. He incited Americans to do things like gouging people's eyes out. 140 cops suffered from injuries that day, brain trauma, crushed cervical discs. One lost 3 fingers, another was stabbed with a metal stake. And yes, one lost their eye. They beat someone nearly to death with an American flag. That does not, despite Jim Jordan's claim, make the GOP the beer and blue jeans party. It makes them the party that endorses cop killing, the party that no longer believes in law and order. Americans are, struggling and out of work. They don't care that MTG is anti-Semitic, and they don't care that these people are racist. They don't care that, they're corrupt. That's all distractions to take away from the larger crime that happened. So, please abandon like the rhetoric and talk about the actual details of what happened. Body parts, the evidence, like pretend that we're trying to convict a jury in a murder trial. Lauren Boebert can go into a home into our district and defend sedition. She cannot defend killing cops or assaulting police officers. And if we're going to tag her, let's tag her with what happened on that stuff. The president told these people what to do. They were ordinary citizens. They were teachers, former cops, farmers, cops that are now soldiers, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, grandparents. And they suddenly just decided to march on their own to the Capitol, So, we have to really answer that question. Trump called them there. This all happened because of him. The president told them to do that. They took up arms against their country. They assaulted cops. They beat hundreds of them savagely. They went looking for Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence like a bloodthirsty mob. The president told them to. And, so for a moment, and again, this is coming from me, it's, and from, them too as well, but we have to forget the politics for once and really just go towards the crime and speak to the facts of what happened, not the lofty political, higher way that we kind of say things usually, which goes well on social media, but we actually have to win a trial here. And the thing is most likely we won't win this, but what we have to do is we have to really make this is who the Republican Party is all the way through. This is who they are. There was assault and battery, attempted murder, conspiracy. The president told his followers to fight like hell. You're going to lose your country. And he's no longer president, but he was in office when he spoke those words and issued those orders. Words matter and words can kill. And on January 6th, they did. We have to really kind of drill home these facts and keep it on the president, keep it on what happened to the police officers, and really just, I mean, imagine again, you know, and as I close this out, that we are lawyers presenting at a murder trial. And, you know, we can't get into, you know, all the feelings of the last 4 years that we have. We have to really stick to the clinical, this is what they did. And we have to make social media trend on this stuff, guys, because the problem is that, you know, a lot of the politicians out there and leadership and everything, there's kind of a mistrust on social that we can't control the narrative. We can, you know, 27 people when we did Impartial Justice, you know, we ended up getting 4.6 billion impressions. We can control this narrative, and we can really stick to the facts on this and really do some real damage. And this is something that's being watched by the leadership. You know, they're involved a lot into, you know, trying to get this messaging out. You know, they've been really helpful and really kind of going out of their way to get good information like this stuff and what they're trying to focus on and what the focus of this trial is going to be on. We're going to see this stuff. And Nick's absolutely right. Like, they're going to have you know, a lot of tricks up their sleeves. All of them, all the impeachment managers are in a media blackout. The Democrats don't do this usually. You know, so it's kind of a different thing. Usually we're trying to fight the message online with the Republicans. And from the language that they're sending us here, what I just kind of read to you guys and kind of explained, you know, I think that we're going to see that they're going to present some evidence here that's going to be, you know, pretty harsh for the Republicans. So keep this on Trump, keep this on the country and what he did to it. He's a clear and present danger to the United States of America. Like, that is such a huge thing that we have to really push. He's a clear and present. It's not over. You know, his Trumpism's not over. We have to really paint them as the party of cop killers, the party of death and this stuff here. And later on, we can get back into all the other things that they've done. But right now, for the next week or two, like, this is the message. And I'm going to keep getting more messaging and, you know, thoughts and things like that. And, you know, I'll be here 100% of the way with Nick and Lori to help out and, you know, help with that. But, you know, let's keep this 100% like it's a trial and keep our social media that way when we're saying it. And it's going to go a lot longer. This is what the impeachment managers are asking us. And so I'll turn it back over to Nick and Lori here. And I appreciate the time to kind of address it. And again, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I'm happy to also, you know, be available for that stuff as well.
Thanks a lot, David. Thank you. I'm going to just share my screen really quick. So I think you guys hopefully can see this. I will, this isn't sort of end all be all. I just kind of put this together before before this call so that we could have some visuals to go along with the talking. So just to reiterate what David said, high level framing, for the duration of this trial, forget Cruz, forget Hawley, MTG. Don't worry about these people. They will have their time. We need to focus all of our attention on Donald Trump because, and let's be honest about it, Hawley couldn't make those crowds appear. You know, this was him. He did this. He was the puppet master, and so we need to really focus on him and not get distracted, because there's going to be some stupid stuff that some of these GOP senators say and ask during this trial that's going to try and divert attention away from the facts of the case, and we have to just keep really closely paying attention to the facts of the case. So focus on, like David said, focus on the story, the terror, the death, the dismemberment, you know, what happened to the cops and the National Guard troops, the assassination squads targeting Pence and Pelosi. We have to focus more on the danger, like David was saying, that Trump still poses, more than an accountability frame. So it's not that he did something and he needs to be held accountable for it. It's that he is a clear and present danger to the United States of America, and he cannot have the opportunity to even run for office again, because of how much damage he can do when he's got a bully pulpit. This is about safeguarding America and also preserving, you know, if if he gets away with this, what does that say for our future as a democracy? We just can't let it happen. So strategic hashtags, somebody was asking about hashtags. We're definitely going to be using convict and disqualify. We're still, David and I were just chatting a little bit back and forth. We're still trying to figure out what our core hashtag is going to be, and we will share that out, via all the means that we have to get in touch with you guys as soon as we know, and they'll automatically populate in our social media toolkit as well once we land on them. Right now, it's I think it still has impartial justice in there, but I don't think we're going to be using that one for this campaign. That's the one that we used in for the last impeachment. Some key team assets that we have here. We had, like David said, we have an inside pipeline to new videos, media, talking points from sort of the highest ways that we can communicate with you. They will be appearing as new stuff comes out. They'll be appearing in the toolkits. Are you losing me, or am I losing you?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm in kind of a Wi-Fi hole here. But we'll be sharing stuff out with you in the inside the toolkits themselves. We're going to be using the Demcast USA Twitter account as a sort of clearinghouse for strategic stuff that you should amplify. So definitely keep an eye on Demcast USA Twitter and amplify from that, as well as our Facebook page. When you use the hashtags, and again, we'll get back to you on those, we'll also be looking at the hashtag and amplifying from you as well. So it's a two-way street on that front. The other assets we'll be doing these daily huddles. We have emails and texts, and then I am going to be doing either a Google Doc or or a web page that'll be a clearinghouse of all of the links, like the invite link in case you want to invite more people to join the team, the Zoom link, the relevant articles that should be amplified, all those kinds of things. So that'll be coming soon. And then if you want to get in touch with us as we're going through the process here and going through the trial, you can direct message our Demcast USA account. Lori and I and Jamie all monitor that, as well as other folks who are on the team. You can email us at admin@demcastusa.com, and then as I said before, when you use the hashtags, we will be looking for that content that you're sharing and trying to amplify that too. So, and finally, just spread the word if you've got other folks who are interested potentially in joining this effort. Recruit them, and we'll just keep adding folks to the team as the trial progresses. Hopefully we can really capture the narrative here and win the day. So I'll share this slide deck out along with that resource document that I told you about, and we'll let you know about like final hashtags and that kind of stuff too, via email and all these other ways that we'll be communicating with you. Lori, here, I'll stop sharing. Did you want to do a quick Speechify run through? It's pretty intuitive, but some people may not have used it before. So
I did want to answer a few questions that people have posted. So there's been, again, several questions about the hashtag. Should you skip the Demcast hashtag? I would say that, that would be character dependent on Twitter. If you don't have the space, then, I would put one of the more ones focused on the impeachment. Can you add tags to the senators of your own states? Absolutely. If you want to, point out something to them. We are trying again to focus on Trump, not necessarily calling out maybe GOP, senators who aren't maybe played a part, or you know, that we're calling them out for maybe not voting correctly. So just keep it focused on Trump, but you can absolutely let your senator know how you feel about the way that they should vote. Okay, so I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to show you a couple of things here first. So the thing that Nick talked about was to make sure that if you are a Twitter user, then when you go in, make sure that you're following the Dimcast account. It's Dimcast USA. And then the little bell that's right here is a notification so that you, when there are tweets that are coming out from the Dimcast account, you will get it in your notification that this has been posted. So you can do that, or you can just come to the page and retweet from there. The other option here is the social media toolkit. So you'll see some of these posts coming out from the Dimcast USA account, but there's also, Facebook posts. There are posts if you have political groups on LinkedIn. Because I'm showing my doesn't show you text messaging and Instagram, but there are specific Instagram pictures as well. So I'll just go to Twitter. If you have not used one of these, you can see that these are the sample posts that we have. And some of the messaging, and like I said, this will be updated each day. So when you come in, you'll see different posts. We may keep the most popular ones from the day before. There's a impeachment that has GIFs, and then also that has videos. The videos right now are just on the Twitter version, but we will be adding more videos here as we go forward, because we know that the videos really powerfully tell the story. So if you're not used to this, you would click customize and share. You can also download and copy, but that's usually if you're going to schedule the post. Customize and share will just take you straight to the Twitter account that you're logged into on your device. And this one has a few extra characters here. So it's a little bit over. But you can put in, you can customize it however you'd like to. You could put an emoji in, you could add your senator's name here. So however you would like to, and then, hit tweet and it'll go out. All right. You can also schedule those tweets. So right here, if I wanted to schedule those to come out the next day, I don't know why it always defaults so weirdly. But if I want to schedule it to come out in the morning, then I can do that. And that way you can have some, information throughout the day that gets pushed out. All right.
So thank you, Lori. It's really helpful. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a really intuitive tool to use, but it's good to go through. There was a question here about, will we be sharing the links so that you can watch them later? Yes. So here's the cadence that I think we're going to have. I think we'll do these calls in the evening of every day, where we'll kind of review and also foreshadow what to think about and expect tomorrow. And then there will be an email that'll go out that'll include a recording of the call to everybody by the morning of the next day. So so that you kind of have your primer for what the messaging strategy is for the day at the beginning of the day in your inbox. We'll also be updating adding the links to that sort of resource document that I mentioned. So you should have access to everything, and they will be shorter than this. This ran the full 30, but we'll try to keep it closer to 15 to 20, and really just hit the main points about how the strategy is evolving over the course of the day. So, yep, and I know there is another call that's going to be happening right now. So, and people are going to probably want to jump off for that. So if you're planning on going, it's with
Alyssa Milano and Jason.
Alyssa Milano and Jason Crow. Yeah, did I bug out again?
Yeah,
sorry.
Bedroom sort of thing.
Okay. Somebody just asked.
A couple of questions in the chat. We're not going to have at this point any sort of timed, at this point in this day that you need to be, tweeting or sharing. Right now, it's just all day push, while the trial is going on. Sarah's asking if she can only do that in the evenings after work. That's absolutely fine. And that's no problem at all. Trudy was wondering if we have a picture of the Newts and Gallows with the Capitol. Oh yes, that will be making an appearance in the campaign. And then let me see. Somebody was asking for the Alyssa call login, so I will get that.
I just dropped.
Okay, perfect.
I just dropped that one. Yep, it's in the chat.
And we will, if you can't attend these, at the regular time, again, we will be recording these and sending these out to people so that you'll be able to catch the most up-to-date information. All right.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's go get them.